Take whatever you want, guys. Bees on Maya, shouted Maya excitedly as her friends laughed and started grabbing clothes off the racks of the expensive boutique. The sales attendant smiled politely, already used to Maya's shopping sprees. While the other ladies rushed around grabbing designer clothes and shoes, one friend, Dami, stayed back. She pulled Maya to a corner of the store. "Maya, why spend your money on all these ladies that will stab you in the back later?" Dami whispered, looking concerned. "They are just here to eat of you." The smiling Maya immediately became sad. Her shoulders dropped as she sighed. "I'm no fool, Dami, but I'd rather have them around than be alone. If I keep looking for loyal friends, I'll end up a loner." "But you're not alone. I'm here for you," Dami said kindly, touching Maya's arm. "Well, that's the problem. Having just one friend is not enough. I don't even think it's ideal. I'll still look like a loser, but with this number, I become the competition," Maya said, smiling. This wasn't the first time Dami was telling Maya about her other lousy friends, but to Maya, having many friends equaled being influential. Maya's father, Chief Dr. Ben George, was not born with a silver spoon. In fact, he came from a very poor home in a small village outside Lagos. He had struggled through school, working odd jobs to pay his fees. He was still poor when he met and fell in love with Jane, his beautiful wife. They had 2 children together, Lucas and Maya. Life was hard but manageable. They lived in a small 2-bedroom apartment, and Dr. Ben worked day and night at the hospital trying to build a good life for his family. Lucas was 8 years old and Maya was just 5 when Jane abandoned them to follow a rich businessman who promised to take her abroad. She left without a proper goodbye and cut all contact with her family. Years later, when Ben finally broke through and made billions from his hospital chain and pharmaceutical companies, he heard that the man had left the country without Jane. She had been left behind, struggling alone in a different city. By then, Ben was already married to Nina, who had given birth to twin boys, John and Jack. Since Jane's disappearance, Dr. Ben had always tried to make up for their mother's absence by giving Lucas and Maya anything they asked for, and even more. While he did it for their good, it made them irresponsible and nonchalant about money. Maya became a shopping freak. She barely used half of what she bought, but was almost always buying everything and anything. As a university student, her fellow students would always bring things to her, things she didn't even need, and talk her into buying them at double or triple the price. "How much is it?" Maya asked a lady marketing close to her as she and Dami had lunch in an outdoor cafeteria on campus. The lady smiled sweetly. "Maya, this designer jeans is only 70,000 naira. Madam, 70k for these jeans? That's ridiculous." Dami cut in, looking the seller in the eye. "I'm certain you did not even buy the jeans for 20k. "Don't worry, it's not a big deal. Bring the jeans," Maya said without even checking the quality. The student seller immediately gave Dami a dirty look and quickly provided her account details to Maya, who transferred the money on the spot. After the seller left, Maya turned to Dami with annoyance. "Dami, that was embarrassing, you know, and this is not the first time. You made it seem like I was broke." "Look, Maya, if I was broke, then it would be different. But you and I know that my dad is even richer than yours and can give me anything. But I know better than to throw his hard-earned money away the way you do." "Whatever, rich girl," Maya said and sipped her drink. Lucas, her brother, was not any better. There are 3 places to always find Lucas: at the club, at another club, and at game houses. His bad friends would always drag him to go play games, or would slip something into his drinks, causing him to lose focus while they took all his money. As if that wasn't enough, Lucas had a mysterious love and connection with his mother. When he found out where she was hiding, he reconciled with her and started sending her money from his father's wealth. Dr. Ben knew about the ridiculous sums his children spent every day, but ignored it, believing that if it made them happy, then there was no problem. But he was unaware that Lucas was sending money to Jane, his former wife. However, Lucas behaved this way because Jane had filled his head with lies when she was still with them. She told him that his father was wicked and lazy. Before leaving, she told Lucas that Dr. Ben was maltreating her and might use her for rituals if she didn't run away. So all this time, Lucas had lived with silent hatred for his father. Maya, on the other hand, was just vain. She couldn't clearly remember her mother and cared little about finding her. Unlike Lucas, who disrespected and hated Nina, their father's new wife, Maya wanted a mother figure and grew to love Nina as her own mother. However, Nina's children, the twins, were better behaved than Lucas and Maya. John and Jack were humble, hardworking, and respectful. One evening in their bedroom, Dr. Ben was pleading with Nina to help him change Lucas and Maya's attitudes. "Please, my love," Dr. Ben said, sitting on the edge of their bed. "Just try once again with these children. If you can make them more responsible like the twins." Nina put down the book she was reading and sighed. "Honey, you know it's not easy. Even Maya, who loves me as her mom, does not listen to me, not to mention Lucas. But I'll keep trying," she assured him. "Please do," Dr. Ben said, his voice heavy with worry. "I always feel guilty anytime I look at them. A part of me feels responsible for the way they've turned out." Nina moved closer and put her arm around him. "It's not entirely your fault, Ben. Their mother's abandonment affected them deeply, especially Lucas." Nina, not wanting the twins exposed to the lifestyle of Lucas and Maya, raised them in a different wing of Dr. Ben's mansion. Later that night, Nina went to check on Maya in her room. She knocked gently and entered to find Maya trying on new shoes. "Maya, you promised me the last time we talked that you would change. But I saw more bags of shoes in the trunk of your car, and the receipt indicates you bought them about a month ago." Maya looked up a bit embarrassed. "Oh, that. Well, you told me that change is a process, right? So I'm changing. Just give me time." The next morning, Chief and his wife woke up to the sound of loud music that seemed to vibrate through the walls of their bedroom. "Oh, Lucas, not again," Nina mumbled. Chief angrily stormed out of the room. "Take it easy, oh," Nina shouted after him. Since Lucas wasn't answering his phone, Chief went to his room and banged on the door. He turned the doorknob and noticed the door wasn't locked. He walked in and was almost deafened by the music, not to mention the choking smell of weed. He first turned off the music and looked around to see Lucas lying on the floor in deep sleep. That it was a waste of energy and time talking to Lucas in this state, he simply opened the curtains and windows for ventilation and walked out of the room. He was heavy with sadness. Chief Ben was a disciplined and time-conscious man who had no patience for Maya and Lucas's excesses. One of the reasons he married Nina was so she could help train them, since he didn't have the time. But unfortunately, she had been unsuccessful at curbing their wild ways. After months of ignoring his children, Chief Ben decided it was time to talk to them. He sent them both a message requesting to see them at his private sitting room at noon the next day. When Lucas got the message, he immediately went looking for his sister to find out if she had received it too. "Why would Dad want to see us after all these months? Do you think he's dying?" Mia asked, looking scared as Lucas drove his expensive car through the estate. "Maya, he can't be dying. I saw him yesterday and he looked his best." The next day, Lucas and Maya were laughing and walking into their father's private sitting room, but their laughter died away immediately they saw his stern face. "Good day, sir," they greeted and sat down nervously. "As I expected, you show up 2 hours late, despite my warning," Chief Ben said, looking at his watch with disappointment. Maya tried to make an excuse about being stuck in traffic, but her father wasn't buying it. "What's the problem with you two? Lucas, you're 25. Maya, you're 22. At your age, I already have my own money. But you both live like teenagers with no responsibilities. I see the way you waste money, throw parties every weekend, and ignore your education." "But we are just having fun, Dad," Maya mumbled. Chief Ben's voice softened slightly. "Listen to me. I love you both. That's why I let you spend as you like. But if you don't become responsible adults soon, there will be consequences." With that, he dismissed them with a wave of his hand. 2 weeks later, all hell broke loose when Chief Ben received a distressing debit alert. Chief Ben immediately called Lucas to his office. "Lucas, explain this." Looking nervous, Lucas admitted, "Yes, Dad, I sent it to Mom." Chief Ben stood up in shock. "Your mother, Jane? How? I thought you never wanted anything to do with her after she abandoned us." "Well, she reached out to me last month. She apologized for leaving. She said she needed help." "And what on earth does she need the amount for?" Just then, Chief Ben's private investigator sent a message that Jane had left the country that morning. When he shared the information with Lucas, he shouted, "No, that can't be true." "Well, that's what you get for trusting an imposter like your mother. Now get out of my office." Lucas left his father's office looking devastated. 1 week later, early in the morning, the whole family was asleep when sudden gunshots woke them. They all rushed downstairs in their pajamas, ducking to avoid bullets coming through the windows. "What's happening?" Maya cried, terrified. When the shooting stopped, men with guns entered the house and ordered them to get into the car outside. "In our pajamas," Mia asked, tears streaming down her face. Do what I say now or else, one of the gunmen threatened, pointing his gun at her. You all have your father to blame. Another gunman sneered. We warned him, but he wouldn't listen. Now, move! As they drove away, the gunmen continued shooting at the vehicle, warning them not to return. On a lonely road, Chief Ben clutched his bleeding arm and asked Lucas to drive. Daddy, where are we driving to? Lucas asked. We can't just leave that mansion for them, oh, Maya added, still crying. Aren't you going to report them? Honey, please say something. What's happening? Nina pleaded, looking scared. Chief Ben winced in pain. I'm injured, you all. Can you just let me survive at least? After 3 hours of driving, they arrived at a small bungalow in a simple neighborhood. Inside, Chief Ben made the phone call at the corner while Nina bandaged his arm. When he finally ended the call, Chief Ben walked slowly towards them with a heavy expression. I've lost everything, he announced sadly. I don't understand. How? What happened? Nina asked, looking confused. After a long pause, Chief Ben confessed, for the past 5 years I've been producing fake drugs, and now the government has found out. They've confiscated all our properties and frozen all my accounts. They are even after my life right now. A heavy silence fell over the room as the family tried to process this news. Nina decided to send John and Jack to stay with her mother. Meanwhile, Maya called her friend Dami, asking if she could stay with her for a while. I'm so sorry, Maya, Dami replied. My parents won't allow it because of what happened to your father. It's all over the news, but I can send you some money. At the same time, Lucas was repeatedly trying to call his mother, but her number was no longer reachable. 2 weeks later, Nina found a small shop space that she could afford. With some of her savings, she started up a small supermarket. Maya approached her nervously, asking, Mom, can I work here with you? I don't know what else to do. Nina was happy and pleased. In another part of the town, Chief Ben rented a small shop and started his pharmacy business again. Lucas, on the other hand, soon put his love for washing to use. He began walking around the neighborhood, knocking on doors and offering his services. As months passed, the family adjusted to their new life. Nina and Maya worked hard at the supermarket. Lucas built up his laundry business, and Chief Ben's small pharmacy grew slightly. 6 months later, during the family dinner, Maya remarked as she set the table, It's not much, but it feels good to buy food with money I earn myself. Me too. I never knew washing clothes could be so satisfying. Lucas agreed. Chief Ben smiled slightly at his children's newfound maturity. The next morning, Lucas rushed into Maya's room excited. Maya, come see. Maya was sitting on her bed staring at her phone in shock too. It's 50 million naira, Lucas, she explained in disbelief. Just then, they heard Nina screaming from the living room and ran to see what was happening. I just got 100 million naira in my account, she told them, showing her phone. But who will be sending us money? Lucas wondered, confused by the sudden turn of events. That evening, when Chief Ben returned home, he found them all waiting eagerly for him. I need to tell you something important, he said, looking serious. Dad, did you see? We all got money, Maya told him excitedly. Taking a deep breath, Chief Ben admitted, Yes, I do, because I sent it. Everyone looked confused as he continued. Everything that happened this past year, it was all planned by me. Dad, it's a lie, Maya protested, stunned by the revelation. How could all those things be fake? Chief Ben nodded. It is real, my dear. I planned everything months ago when I realized how irresponsible you both were. I needed to teach you the value of hard work and humility. But honey, there are other ways, Nina said worriedly. Imagine you got hurt. What if things went wrong? Nothing could have gone wrong, Chief Ben said assuredly. I planned every detail, but I'm sorry for all the discomfort I put you through. A long silence followed as everyone processed this information. Then suddenly, Lucas shouted happily, Who cares, Dad? It helped us all. We're the ones that owe you an apology for making you go this far to put us on the right path. Thank you, Daddy. I love you. For the first time in years, Lucas hugged his father, overcome with emotion and gratitude. 2 weeks later, the Okafor family moved into a new mansion, but they were no longer the same people. Chief Ben sat alone in his lounge one evening, smiling at how everything had turned out. Now I have a family I always wanted, he thought.